Wall Street takes the brightest people and smashes them into the pavement on a regular basis.
There's only one bottom line on Wall Street, and that bottom line is how much money you make.
This is one of the most stressful jobs on earth. You have stress every single second. Not everybody can survive.
Arrogance, greed, corruption, those are all traps when you work on Wall Street.
Whatever your background was, it's can you make money, can you contribute to profitable ideas?
You should wake up in the morning with an immediate feeling of dread no matter what. And that is simply because if you know what you're doing, you realize that it might be very, very fleeting.
Being a woman on Wall Street, I think it has its good parts and bad parts. Oftentimes you still feel it's a little bit of a boys' network. Sometimes you're not being taken as seriously because, you know, you wear a skirt and makeup.
There's two major things in this business how to make money on Wall Street. The first of all is mind your own business. And the second most important thing, discipline.
A lot of our clients look to us to make the money, but also to be something of an insurance policy if the market really gets nasty. Yesterday the market was nasty, and we had a very good day.
There are two numbers I don't think I'll forget. One is 15, and that is the age I moved out of my parents' house. And the other is 27, and that's the age I retired.
It's about making money, but you have to have discipline, you have to be clairvoyant, you have to be obsessed and fearless. When Guy was managing money in a loft in Soho, he was knocking it out of the park and no one knew he existed. And now he has an office in a midtown high-rise, and his performance has been off the charts, putting him in the top 5% of managers.
We are investors in U.S. equities only, and we are a long-short fund, which means that we are basically making bets, if you will, on stock prices going up and stock prices going down. We trade for both our personal equity as well as that of both institutional and high net worth investors. All righty. We got a lot of money to put to work, so we're going to put some of it to work today.
I have always worked on getting one degree up on another to show that I'm actually well accomplished. I did feel under pressure to prove that. You have to have a certain resilience for Wall Street.
Gets stressful here usually around the open, which is at 9:30 Eastern Time. There's usually some information that has come to light overnight. Thank you.
You chill.
What?
You're gonna be good in school today?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
And what are you gonna do?
I'm going to learn things.
You wanna be like Betty, a day trader?
Yeah, I want to
sure?
get $1 million.
You want $1 million?
Yes.
That's a good one. How about 2 million?
Uh-oh, that's 5 million.
5 million, okay. But you know what needs to be done in order to make this kind of money, right?
I'm thinking.
It's actually very simple. You gotta start in a high school, have a good grades, and then try to go to college, and then hopefully, you know, you're gonna get a good job and then work long hours, and then you're gonna be better than anybody else. It's the same as in trading, what the day you do.
Alex came to the country about 10 years ago, and he had a degree in finance from Moscow. His dream was to work on Wall Street, and he found out very early on that his degree wasn't worth anything in the U.S. He felt that he could beat the market. 7 years later, and no losing months, he is on his way to becoming a star.
It's right here. The New York Stock Exchange. Oh my God.
There's a cliche, you eat what you kill. And that's very much the culture of Wall Street. Waking up and feeling like you're on a hunt.
I work for an asset management company that has about $6 billion under management. I have to be at work at 8 o'clock and be pretty much bright-eyed and bushy-tailed because I cover European markets. By the time that I get to the office, they just come back from their lunch break.
Hey, Christina, the coffee machine has gone wacko. You'll find no quarter in the coffee machine. My title?
Yeah.
President. We're not big on titles here.
Parker is, he runs the show, and then Mike is the analyst, and so pretty much anything Parker wants done, I execute.
I analyze primarily biotech companies that research and develop pharmaceuticals.
Hey, Mike?
Yeah!
You got a second on IRA? As a hedge fund, we can do things that your traditional mutual fund can't do. We can use leverage if we want to. At $1. I mean, also, we can short sell, which means you are betting on the security price going down. Hey, Christina, short 10,000.
Can you please short sell 10,000 for me?
The risks associated with a short are much higher. If you go and short a $100 stock, the most you can make is $100, and the most you can lose is infinite. So it's a little bit more intense emotionally, and that's why a lot of people don't like the business. Technically, Wall Street is a street down in southern Manhattan. On the corner of Wall Street and Broad is the New York Stock Exchange. But what is Wall Street in the more figurative sense? It's the biggest financial market in the world. The siren song of money can get so alluring. It's highly competitive with extraordinarily intelligent people.
There's a lot of competition, and you need to do everything to stay ahead of the pack.
Out of 21 months, we've had one down month, and we would like to not have any more down months.
For me, this is a 24 hours a day job. I cannot come home and say to my wife, this month I did not make money.
I'm here to make money. Let's be real straight about this.
It's the holy grail. How do you take the lowest risk and get the highest return out of it?
Starting to find a little buy side here. So here's the American Stock Exchange where in 1987, as everyone knows, the market crashed. On that Monday afternoon, as I was standing doing my job in one of the trading pits you see below me, one of the brokers who was trying to get the attention of another broker actually bit me in the shoulder because I was in his way. I stood there stunned. That's a true story.
It's one of the hardest things for me to explain what I do. I represent on one side some of the richest investors on the planet, and on the other side we try to find undiscovered managers who we hope will be the next superstar. It's an art discovering some of these managers because for the most part they like to remain below the radar. I would say 9 out of 10 are going to fail.
This is all we got so far that we've gone over on the short side.
Well, that's not enough.
No.
I basically sit down with my trader and we go through what do we have in the book and what do we think we're going to need to do today. Do we want to add to positions? Do we want to cut positions?
We wanted to wait on these two, right?
We want to wait for them to open and to stabilize. It's a tempting target, but we've been burned too badly on those names.
All right, let's hold off on it.
So it is a no-go for the moment. Now here, on the other hand, check our stock alone on that and see whether or not. Can't? No? They have too high an exposure? That's fun. It's always something, isn't it? There's a lot of risk in the market right now, so we're going to be very, very careful about what we do.
If I can talk to trading at Bear Trade and guide them as I'm doing it as well.
No. The way to do it is I want us to open and stabilize. We've got 2 minutes. You've got enough bid here for the time being. We can ease our way into all of it. The market's opened. What's going to happen is you're going to have a flood of orders. Anybody who was short yesterday and thought they were going to get follow through might be nervous. So what you end up with is a very funky move in the very beginning of the day. You see that reprice right now? Yeah. It's all over the place. You want to get in and get those positions on. It's at the flat line right now.
When Guy's working on a trade, you'll never get his attention. I mean, he just has laser focus, and he'll remain in these positions until he takes his pound of flesh out of the market.
Hold him?
Hold him.
Okay.
All retiring means is that you don't have to work.
That's 100 points.
And the secret to that is creating enough assets for you to support yourself. I worked at a consumer sector focused hedge fund. I love to meet with the managements of the companies, build financial models, analyze their businesses, and pick stocks.
Okay, I'm going to get them both.
Strong. Right now I'm in the process of starting my own hedge fund. To start a hedge fund, there's a lot of things that have to happen. You have to have a strategy, and you basically have to build a team before you're in business. Day one, an investor gives you money, they expect you to start performing. Day two.
Another guy resigned.
The board ousted the primary CEO.
The mad scientist.
The mad scientist.
Right now, we are pausing on acting because we're worried about the new guy's resignation.
Okay, I'll tell you my big pet peeve. It's like when you are a company and you're trying so hard to, let's say, you're making a product, and then you see how all the analysts are betting on whether or not the company is going to do right or wrong. I'd rather be the company who's actually making something than being the Weasley analyst who's actually predicting whether or not something's going from A to B. And I don't want to say Weasley. Okay, maybe take out Weasley. But yeah, sometimes I feel that it's more honest to be the... Honest is not the great word either. Let's scratch all that. Scratch, scratch. I'd rather be the person who's actually making it happen versus you betting whether or not something's going to go up or down.
There's a nefarious image that short sellers are betting on destruction and loss of wealth, and we don't want to have people profiting from other people's loss. There's some countries that don't allow short selling. France, you can't short sell in France. I think that's really short-sighted. Short selling serves a really important public purpose. Short sellers are often ferreting out information that companies are trying to hide. What's the deal with often the late filing? It's just they're slow? Who's the CFO there? And you think he's competent? A healthy market is one where information is broadly disseminated and honestly disseminated. There's a schadenfreude also to Wall Street, and even among so-called friends. As only the Germans could really come up with this word. It's the joy and revelment of seeing somebody else fail.
This is Sandra. Could I please talk to Carl? I just got a call from a German client. Hold on 1 second, please. Kann ich Sie später zurückrufen? I was born in Germany, in a small town, a middle-class family, as the daughter of an Iranian father and German mother. Dankeschön. Bis später. Nothing ever indicated that I would actually make it to New York City down the road, because it's really a long shot, especially considering that I studied law. But it was always my dream to one day make it to the United States. You know, the morning passes very quickly. I get a lot of phone calls, emails. Most of them I tend to answer right away, try to get them out of the way. We want to be able to increase our leverage, be a little more aggressive. I help make deals. We raise capital from primarily institutional investors, and then we structure funds, put that money in there, and we manage it for them. A fund is kind of a shell of where the securities are being put into. I mean, the minimum is going to be 50 million, and we want to ramp up pretty quickly up to 250, 500. Some deals are really sexy. Sometimes it's exciting to close a deal. A lot of energy and testosterone comes together. Ever so often, though, you want to feed your mind some other stuff to maintain and expand other dimensions. For instance, I took up quantum physics in my spare time. It's for non-scientists, though. It's not mathematical, but it's very interesting, you know, because if you work on Wall Street, things can tend to be a little one-sided, and so you want to feed your brain something else for a change.
It's interesting that we're all working with the same data. We all have the same earnings, forecasts, reports. But the incredible thing about Alex is he reads the way the market interprets that data. He gets in sync with the market.
At the age of 22, I came to the United States. First 3 years I spent as a cab driver. Then I got into the Wall Street, got my licenses, and I become a day trader. How I make money, I do a lot of charts. I'll probably go through 700 or 800 charts. Did they go up? How did they finish? That's what happened to gold. It was a huge turnaround. So what I will do, I'll buy a basket of gold and steel and see what's gonna do. Victor, what's up? We probably doing 500 to 1,000 trades a day. We care what's gonna be in the next 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, a variety of different intervals. and there's maybe 10,000 people like we are. So figure out every time I'm by the computer, I'm competing against the person like me. If you made money today, somebody else lost it. Yeah, I'm looking to get in. I probably would make much more money than I'm making right now, but taking a much significant losses and be more volatile, probably be up $10,000, be down $10,000, but this is not my style. Every month you have to be up, you have to get the paycheck. The volume is decent, it's about 2 million shares. It's going to be a nice comeback. This is a fast making a decision. This is like a police, you either take a shot or you're going to get shot. Day traders buy here, sell there. Hedge funds buy here, try to sell here. Big investor buy here, hopefully to sell there. But we're all here for the same. This is our job, you know, buy low, sell high.
Aha! Seems somebody got this thing to work. There are things I really like about Wall Street, and there are things I don't really like about Wall Street. The great thing about it, it really is a melting pot. There's a meritocracy to it, and maybe that's too big a word, but it's based off of merit, usually. He changed his name to Inherit Money. Oh my God, the shame of it. What I don't like about Wall Street is there's too much of an urgency on this exact moment. Whipping in and out of stocks. Pace it a little bit more. I mean, this is a marathon. It's not a bunch of wind sprints.
On Wall Street, there are two different sides of the street. There's the buy side and the sell side. The difference, really easy to understand. If you're on the sell side and you're angry at the guy you're talking to, you have to slam down the phone before you say F you. If you're on the buy side, you get to say F you, then hang up the phone.
Patience. Patience is what counts here.
Got to be able to take advantage of that dip a little bit. Hey, Chris, I want you to hold on that Apple trade.
We got 3 minutes. This is like being an air traffic controller at times. It is as stressful as it comes. You might think you are onto something. It's 4% instead of 5%.
Gotcha.
And it starts moving away from you.
It's going to find its line at 150.
You're not in control of the information. You're not in control of the market.
It's much like an ER, so you never know what's going to hit you. If the timing's right, everything will happen at once.
4 months ago.
True, but you have to understand that the reports that we just did were never requested before. So
I'm going to give them 1 day, and in 1 day it doesn't happen, I'm going to create a storm because I'm really annoying.
Stress is the biggest challenge on Wall Street. You're a day trader, you're a hedge fund manager, you're an institutional trader. Anything on Wall Street is a huge stress.
It has a tendency to burn people out.
There's nobody that's been around for any period of time that hasn't had many sleepless nights, thinking, what the hell did I just do? And the person that hasn't had that sleepless night, I wouldn't trust them with a dime because they're too cocksure.
When guys start to believe that they're invincible, is like the moment before they're about to take a beating.
But the moment that you're stressed and under pressure, that's when you have to perform.
So today, for the moment, is a profitable day. So you picked up 40 bips. Doesn't make anybody happy. You can never rest on your laurels here. It's really important to be humble because the market will humble you in an instant. You know, there's an old expression that the market has a paddle big enough to give anyone a spanking.
For me, day is over 4 o'clock. I come tomorrow as a fresh man, not the day, not the money. You cannot walk away from this business. All the people, when they try to make money, what they're trying to do with it? They're trying to invest. It's a circle. You love what you do, and this is a kind of job which produces a nice income, so you put enough money away, you can wisely invest and support your beautiful lifestyle. That's what the Wall Street is all about. It's about money.
For me, money is just a tool to live the life I want to live. My father made a lot more money than my mother did. When I was 11 years old, they divorced. That had a huge impact on me because a lot of his salary went with him. It made me determined that I would not find myself dependent upon someone else to support me.
The other aspect of the job, it does involve a lot of travel, which, for better or for worse, can affect your personal life with your family. No, I'm taking a client. I'm taking him for golf, actually. We'll be back Monday.
If you don't have a real love of what you do here, you're not going to survive. Even my wife says it to me at times, says, why don't you just stop? And, I suppose the question is, stop and then do what?
You can't let your own biorhythms and self-worth and happiness be completely governed by the volatility in the tape. I've seen people get seriously manic depressive that weren't necessarily prone to that. And they just couldn't handle the ups and downs of their portfolios. I think a lot of Wall Street's success is timing, which itself can be a function of luck. But I guess it was Napoleon that said, bring me the lucky generals, because sometimes you make your own luck.
Sandy's an incredible networker. Her legal abilities and her communicative skills just make her, and her look, make her incredible and different. Everyone wants to sign a contract with Sandra. I mean, reality is she's gorgeous. When she comes into a room, you say, what the f is she doing here? But never underestimate Sandy, because she'll know the facts. Sandy's brilliant.
When I came over, I knew very few people, and I started from scratch networking.
Sandy is helping me search and identify undiscovered superstar managers.
We are going to the American Council on Germany's awards dinner tonight. It's a great place to network and to meet people. There will be a lot of important business people, corporate people, Wall Streeters. How this works. It's lovely to see you again, but I don't want to keep you. Let's circulate. The table is like $25,000, so be on the ball. If you go there, make the most of it. Networking is really key because you cannot survive in this business by just sitting behind your desk. I'm very happy where I'm at now, but I would like to keep on growing. And part of that may be transitioning further away from just putting together deals to manager selection. Thank you. When I came here, there were instances where I felt lonely because I was so wrapped up in work and, I didn't have that many friends. Thank you. Thank you. A downside to being a successful woman is that you're always working, and before you know it, another year has passed, another 3 years have passed, and then you get another great offer. And so you kind of get a little bit sidetracked. That may have happened a little bit in my case. Enjoy dinner, and hope to see you soon again. Bye. I mean, it's never too late, so I'm still looking forward and hopefully starting a family. I think that would be most important to me.
I think wedding proposals are going to be your biggest challenges.
I just got $1 million!
I love America.
These are all Wall Streeters. It's about being number one.
Market's sold off about 50 points over the last 10 or 15 minutes.
I am losing money.
Oh, right. We're going in high def.
They're wonderful. That's all good stuff.
Thank you.
I hope he's filming him because he's handsome.
Thank you. Let's go.
It was a conference call with a company, and just one of the guys on the call, I think I know who it was, I could just hear him on the mic saying, every time the CEO would open his mouth, so.